Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This week is going to be a raw uncut video just discussing my first week in YouTube, making content, publishing videos. As a recap, this week I have 2 subscribers. I made 2 videos this week and I've started to develop a plan and a system in order for me to send these videos out. So let's talk about the pros for this week. The pro is that I've moved from ChatGPT to Claude, and now I have a better system to document my progress, document my tasks, and to plan my life OS and everything I'm doing. I do like Claude a lot better. So I did record 2 videos this week. The good thing was is that one of the subscribers actually asked for code, and so I created a quick form that I could send to that user. They gave me their email, I sent them the code. So this is a free system that I've implemented, which I'll use. So that was a good thing. So I have that system set up. So basically 2 videos. I do have that lead capture system that I built. So now going forward in my videos, I have a way for users to contact me, give me their emails, and for me to send them information or for them to ask for whatever they need, whatever the case is. So the other thing I did this week is I invested in gear. The mic I'm using currently isn't that great. It doesn't sound good on videos. So I bought a ATR 2500X mic. Hopefully this will make the videos easier to hear. And I think those are the pros for this week. So I stood consistent. I put out content. It's not the best content in the world, and that's to be expected. This is a process. You just learn as you go. But that content is out there and it's published. The cons for this week. So what felt hard this week? I got very frustrated midweek. I was recording a video and I was trying to do a YouTube short. I used a program called DaVinci Resolve. It's a very good program. It's free. However, it's very complex. And in the process of me making the short, I kind of got frustrated. I wasn't able to do certain things that I wanted to do, so I kind of stopped making the video. That was a little rough this week. It was just hard to deal with. I never did publish that short. I was another another con of this week, or another hard point of this week, was that I wanted to ship 3 videos. I only shipped 2. Um, the other hard part, or the other challenging part this week, is that I want to start doing outreach to businesses so that I can start getting clients. So there was zero outreach for me this week. My goal with the videos is I want to show videos of me making the Life OS system and show how that's coming along, how that's working. But I realize that I also have to make videos that solve problems for business owners, and I want to start putting that out there. So I started just making content showing small business owners solutions to problems that they may have as lead generation, so on and so forth. But part of making those videos is that I have to start reaching out to clients and actually showing them the product and getting them to sign up. So I did not do any outreach this week, but next week I plan to do outreach. And then the other challenge this week was just transitioning. I mean, I've used Microsoft Copilot, I've used ChatGPT, I've used Claude, and each one has pros and cons. But at this point, I'm looking for a system that's just going to cause me less stress and do what I needed to do. Copilot wasn't doing that very well. ChatGPT was okay. Now Claude is much better. Claude will actually update my documents, keep my documents saved on my own file system. My issue with ChatGPT is that I was losing a lot of documents. I was losing a lot of work. I was coming up with these big master plans only for a week later the document to be gone because ChatGPT doesn't keep it in memory. So this week I've came up with a system. I'm using Claude. I'm using Haiku for my engine and daily planning, and I'm using Sonnet to actually do my master thinking every Sunday. So I'm happy now that I have at least a system. And then the other challenge is just transitioning to Claude. It takes time and it takes effort and it takes work. Claude is a new system I'm not used to, so I'm kind of learning as I go. It is a better system for my case, but it still takes time to adjust and to learn. So that was actually another con of this week. Those were the pros, those were the cons. What I learned this week is, to ship over polish. I'm trying to just ship videos and complete work and not worry so much about if it's perfect or not. I am a software engineer, so we tend to be very meticulous, very, we like to get the details correct. So at this point, I just want to ship things out and learn the process, learn what customers want, and I'm not looking for perfection so much, just getting product and videos out there. I also did release the forms. So I do have forms now that I can give to users, and they're able to submit their emails and reach out to me directly outside of YouTube. It's a very simple system. It's the system that I've demoed, you know, quick form, it's Google Forms, Sheets as a database, and emails to reply back to myself or to the customer. Very simple system, but it works. Um, and then the other thing I learned this week is that I don't really want tools to slow me down. I do like DaVinci Resolve, but it's very complex. So starting this week and going forward, I'm still going to use DaVinci Resolve for client videos for my short demos because those do need to be a little more polished, and I do feel it's worth learning DaVinci Resolve in the long term. But then for the short videos, I'm going to transition to CapCut. CapCut may be a little bit easier, a little quicker, so I'm going to transition there and start using CapCut for my shorter videos. Also, I'm using Claude Sonnet going forward. I'm not using ChatGPT or Microsoft Copilot. Basically, for planning, I use Claude Sonnet on Sundays. It'll create all my documents, update what needs to be updated. During the week, as I use my engine, that'll be Haiku. I've also started naming every single one of my chats. One thing with any AI, it doesn't matter which one you use, those chat windows get very long, and it may get to a point where you're having trouble finding things we've already discussed. So now I make it a habit. Every day when I start a new chat, I start one for Sonnet, which is my planning. I start one for Haiku, which is my engine, and I label each one with an exact date so I know what's there and I can come back to them fairly easy. And then starting this week, I'm going to start doing outreach. I'm going to try to reach out to more businesses and just show them the product that I have, which from my perspective as an engineer, it's very simple. And, but I have to accept the fact that not everything needs to be a SaaS product or have servers and have NAN or whatever the case is, just simple products that solve solutions. So it's about letting the businesses decide what they need, not myself as an engineer, which is very hard to do. But still, I'm going to start reaching out, showing the solution that I have, and just kind of seeing where that goes. Maybe people want it, maybe people don't. But the first step is to put it out there, and I'll start reaching out this week. So that's what I've learned for the week. It hasn't been an easy week. I really did get frustrated with DaVinci Resolve. Something even the simple stuff, setting up your recording session, the light, the camera, the mic. It's a lot of work. It's more work than I expected. So I have to figure out a routine and a plan to make that simpler. But it's work. It's work, and um, I didn't expect the setting up of the camera and the video and the lights to be so complex or so complicated. Setting your camera at the right angle, the video, the microphone, the lighting. So all lessons learned. And my goal again is to stay consistent and to do this week in and week out for the next 8 months, minimal 8 months, probably longer. And let's see where it goes. But that's my weekly recap. My goal is to do this every week, just kind of give a recap of where I'm at. And that's it. So thank you for watching.